What's up, potty people, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be testing some new drugstore makeup of 2020. And this is actually going to be a part 1 of 2 because I've got so much new drugstore makeup that I couldn't fit it all into one video. Yeah, I'm super excited. I've got some stuff from Maybelline, Revlon, L'Oreal, Rimmel, just a few little knick-knacks and paddywhacks here and there. So yeah, if you like videos like this where I test out new makeup, then make sure you give it a thumbs up to let me know. And subscribe to my channel, join my community. I would love to have you stick around. And make sure you turn that bell on. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive on into some new drugstore makeup of 2020. So for priming, I don't have a new primer. I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Eye Elements Core Eye Primer. This is basically a dupe for Soft Ochre from MAC, or what I think is a dupe for Soft Ochre. So I'm just going to go ahead and prime with that. And I've really been enjoying this eye primer. Like, you don't have to set it or anything. Like, it sets on its own and it conceals like a beast. So for eyeshadow, I have this new Maybelline Nudes of New York eyeshadow palette. And I haven't tried an eye palette from Maybelline in a really long time. I haven't tried an eyeshadow from Maybelline in a really long time. I just haven't been into their eye formula. Like, I don't know, the drugstore just doesn't do eyeshadows very well. So here's what this looks like, and it's got a pretty good assortment of colors. I mean, it's your basic nude palette, but I feel like a lot of people will enjoy this and find a lot of use out of it. So yeah, I mean, it's not the ugliest palette, but it's pretty vanilla. So let's first go to this shade right here called Creator. It's just a matte muted tan shade, and we'll use that in our crease. Okay, so that shade worked out really, really well. It's very pigmented, but super easy to blend out. So yeah, so far so good. It's definitely a step up from what I remember about Maybelline eyeshadows. So now I'm gonna go into Globetrotter, which is this reddish brown over here. Okay, so there's that shade. Definitely not as reddish brown as what it looks like in the pan. Like, it looks like a more burgundy shade in the pan, but it just looks like a normal dark brown. It did take a little bit longer to blend out than the other one, but I think it's just because it's a darker brown shade, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. Let's actually do a few swatches of the shimmers in here, just because, I don't know, like, I can't tell much about them right now. So there's just a few of them, and they look fine. Like, they just look like a basic shimmer. They don't look super metallic-y or anything. This one right here, which is this like taupey pink shade up at the top, this one probably looks the best out of all of them. So there's that shade. That's really pretty. But yeah, these are just like bronzes, coppers, golds. So I guess I'm just gonna go into Dreamer, which is that taupey pink at the top, just because I feel like that's probably the most impressive shade. So I'm not a psychic, but I could probably already guess that using a wet brush is probably gonna be the best bet for these, because I mean, they're just a basic shimmer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that on my brush and wet it. So that's actually really, really pretty and smooth. I guess I kind of didn't expect that much from it just because they look kind of dry in the pan. Okay, so I'm pretty impressed so far. So I'm gonna go back into my crease and just kind of, I don't know, spice it up a little bit maybe. Let's try to go into Protector, which is this muted lavender kind of shade, and just add a touch of purple up there in the crease. So yeah, that just kind of enhances the pinkish aspect of the look. So I'm gonna go into Soloist, which is just a matte cream shade. We're gonna use this on my brow bone. This one is a little more toned down. It's not as pigmented. It works, like, it's fine, but I personally like something a little bit brighter and less of my skin tone for a brow bone highlight. But I mean, it is serving a purpose. It is cleaning everything up. It's just not as bright as I'd like. Okay, and then for my inner corner highlight, I'm gonna go into the Originator, which is this bigger icy pink over here. I'm actually gonna wet my brush with this one as well, so it kind of fuses better into that shimmery shade on the lid, and hopefully it's a little bit brighter. Okay, yeah, it is a little bit more of a white icy pink. So yeah, so that's really pretty. So moving on up to some eyeliner. So this is the Maybelline Hyper Easy Eyeliner Liquid Pen in the shade Pitch Black. Yeah, I've been on the hunt for a super jet black matte eyeliner of some sort, whether it be liquid, pencil, whatever, and I've yet to find one that really just clicks with me. So here's what it looks like, and it's just your typical brush tip applicator, but we're gonna go ahead and draw a line with this and we'll see how she do. That application was so wonderful. No skips, no tugging. Like, I had a really easy time working with that. The eyeliner itself is very pigmented, and it does seem to be very jet black, and it's already set to be a matte finish, which is, for whatever reason, so rare to find. Like, everything wants to be a satiny, shiny finish, and then those tend to transfer and smudge and smear, and I don't understand that. That's not what we want. No one ever asked for that. The shape of the applicator is so amazing. So let's actually see what the claims are supposed to be. So it says easy lines, smooth glide, no skipping. So that's definitely 100% true. Flex brush tip, that's true. Up to 24 hours wear, smudge resistant, intense color. It's a lot better than that previous one that I tried in another video, the Tattoo Studio Liquid Ink Liner. Yeah, I really like the application of this as well, and it was pretty intense, but it was a shiny finish, so it transferred onto my eyelid, and it kind of smeared a little bit. I think it kind of smeared my inner corner, and I just don't really like this one. So yeah, this one is pretty beast. Like, I'm pretty impressed with this. All right, so for mascara, I have the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift Washable Mascara. So let's see, this is supposed to give you an instant lash lift with fibers that deliver dramatic volume and long lifted lashes. Looks like falsies. Our double curved lifting brush and fiber infused formula grabs lashes at the root to lift, thicken, and lengthen. No clumps, smears, or flakes, just volume and the look of longer lashes that last all day. All right, so here's one coat, and I mean, it does do a little something. Like, it's not the worst, but it's definitely not the most volumizing, thickening formula. All right, so here are two coats, and it dries really fast. So I will say, if you do want to layer this, you don't need to let it sit there and dry for a long time, because if you do, then it's gonna be harder to layer and to get more from it. Like, it's not a bad mascara, but it definitely doesn't do exactly what I want it to do. Like, I wouldn't call this a false lash effect mascara like it claims to be. So now for some brows. So L'Oreal just came out with this micro ink pen by Brow Stylist. It says hair-like tint effect, up to 48-hour wear. So yeah, this is supposed to be like the microblading, or what was it called? Is it microblading? Look, I've got pregnancy brain and I can't remember a thing. There's a lot of pens on the market like this that are supposed to give you that microbladed look, I guess you could say. I haven't really been impressed by anything that I've tried this far, but L'Oreal does a pretty good job, so I don't know. So I got the shade Dark Blonde, and it looks pretty warm. Hopefully it doesn't look that warm. Like, the little tip right here looks pretty orangey, and all the shades look like that. Like, there's no good like cool tone or neutral shade that would match me anyway, so shade range definitely needs to be worked on. But it says get precise, define, and natural looking brows with our micro ink pen by Brow Stylist. This long wear ink pen precisely tints brows with its comb tip applicator for a natural looking hair-like effect. It's waterproof, no color fade, no smudge, no transfer. So yeah, here's what the applicator looks like. So it's not as like, I don't know, the combing aspect of it isn't as pronounced as some other applicators I've seen like this. So yeah, it definitely is a dark blonde, but I mean, I do see some red in there, so it's not completely cool tone like what I like. All right, so it says start with clean brush brows. Okay, place the comb tip applicator at the anchor of your brow and brush upward and outward to the tail for desired result. Okay, so basically you're on your own. I like the fact that it is pretty pigmented. Like, it's not overly pigmented so far anyway, but yeah, I'm not having to really apply a lot of pressure or anything, and it's not too dry, so big bonus there. I hate the fact that there's not a spoolie though. Like, I know this isn't like a normal brow pencil, but still, like, we need a spoolie. Maybe not the traditional kind, like maybe something that works better with this kind of formula, but we need something. Okay, so here's what this one looks like so far. The color isn't bad. Like, it's actually not as red as what I thought it would be. I mean, it's still kind of warm, but it's whatever. But yeah, it's probably the best pen that I've tried this far. It looks like it's a pretty dry tip, but just enough comes out. I will say I probably wouldn't like to use this on its own. I'd probably like to outline my brow with a normal pencil first and then go in and fill it in with this. Just because, like, it kind of does leave, like, the little applicator marks on the bottom, like wherever you first lay it down. And it does look like hair. Like, don't get me wrong, it does look like the follicle, like where the hair's grown from, but it just doesn't look as smooth and seamless as what I'd like. Not bad. Like, I'm actually pretty impressed. All right, so moving on to foundation. So I did go ahead and do my skin prep off camera, so I'll link the products I use below. So I have this brand new L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation with SPF 50. I kind of 30 shades, and it does go pretty dark, but it doesn't go super, super light. Like, there's like 15 shades that look the exact same, like maybe just a slight variation, but they all look very warm, like very orangey, so definitely needs improvement in there. But it says formulated with SPF 50, vitamin B3, and hydrating serum for all-day hydration. Evens tone provides a natural radiant finish. Lightweight formula does not settle into lines. It's formulated for mature skin, which, whatever. This lightweight foundation provides coverage while also being suitable for sensitive skin. Natural radiant coverage. So I got the shade 20 Golden Ivory, which is the third lightest shade, and this is so dark and so orange, it doesn't match me at all. So here's what the consistency and the color looks like. The color doesn't look too bad on my hand, but The other day it looked pretty dang orange. I'm actually gonna lower my ISO and my lighting just a little bit so you can see. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty dark and it does oxidize a little bit, so just keep that in mind. It is very, very hydrating. It's not gonna set to be a matte powdery finish. It's not gonna sit on its own. If you don't set every square inch, then it's gonna feel tacky. Now, I mean, if you have dry skin, then that's not as big of a deal. But if you're someone like me that has normal oily skin, then it feels very tacky. And I was surprised at how well it lasted the other day on me because my skin, it's more normalized, but it does lean more oily, so like especially my T-zone. And I don't remember this breaking down. I mean, I think I wore it for at least 8 hours. But yeah, with wetter consistencies like this, if you want better coverage, like let the first layer dry a little bit and, you know, at least get kind of tacky and then go in and layer it because that will give you the best pigmentation. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait it out just a little bit and I'll come back and we'll do a second layer. I'm going to go ahead and go in and just build it up back here mostly and then work forward. By the way, this brush is from Amazon. It's a Beauty Junkies large duo fiber stippling brush. I love this thing so much. I'll link it below if you want to check it out because it's my favorite foundation brush and it gives the most coverage out of every foundation. So look at that though. Like that is so beautiful. I'm going to go into concealer now and I'm going to set my face and then go in with bronzer as well because I don't have a setting powder, concealer, or bronzer to show you guys. And then we'll come back and we'll do some more blush highlighter type products. Actually, I can use this powder to show you guys in a video because I haven't shown it in a video yet. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Loose Setting Powder. And I've heard a lot of really good things about this. I've been using it for a little while now. Again, where I haven't filmed with it, I haven't observed it all that closely. But the first time I used it, that day I had a really bad makeup day. My makeup looked really cakey. So I don't know if it was the powder or what I was wearing underneath. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use this. If I could get it out. So yeah, this powder says it is translucent, but like it kind of darkens my skin a little bit. Like it's definitely not translucent. Okay, so I'm actually going to use this to set my entire face. I haven't been setting every square inch of my foundation lately. Like I've been using my powder cheek products to do a lot of the work. But with this type of consistency where it's really wet, I'm afraid that the blending of the cheek products will kind of mess everything up and disrupt the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and set every inch. So now for blush. So I have this Rimmel Maxi Blush, powder blush in the shade Third Base, which is kind of trying to be like NARS Orgasm. Like it's that same kind of tone. It's like a, oh, it's cracked a little bit. It's a lighter pink, but it's kind of got a corally aspect to it. Here's what it looks like. I've only worn this like one other time, so I don't really know a whole lot about it. But, I mean, doesn't seem too bad. Like the formula's pretty smooth. Whoa, very, very powdery. Yeah, a lot of kick up in the pan, so definitely gonna tap that off. I'm gonna start back here. And I'm really sad that that powder took away all that luminosity from that really pretty foundation. So to be so dusty, I'm kind of surprised that it's not more pigmented than what it is because it's really pretty sheer. And like you can see a gold sheen, but it's very, very faint. Like there's not a lot of glow from this. So for highlight, I am very, very excited about this. So Revlon is releasing a bunch of stuff. Like, well, not a bunch, but they've released quite a few things. So they released these Skin Lights prismatic highlighters, and they also have bronzers, but I couldn't find those in the store. But this is in the shade 201 Daybreak Glimmer, and this looks so pretty and so bougie and fancy. I haven't touched this at all. Oh, you know what this looks like? This looks like the Amrezy highlighter, which wasn't my personal favorite, but we may have a dupe on our hands. Hopefully it performs better. Like it just looks like a really pretty wet sheen. I'm so excited. I just pulled out my Anastasia Amrezy highlighter, so here's what this one looks like. Oh my God, are these the same? To me, the Amrezy highlighter though, like everyone loves it, but on my skin, I just can't really get a whole lot from it. But whenever you swatch it, let's swatch them side by side. So here's Amrezy, here's Revlon. So let's put Amrezy right here. And I am planning a dupe video soon. So, okay, those are the exact same. That definitely has potential. And it does look very, very similar to Amrezy. Now, I will say with the Amrezy highlighter, I never tried it on a tacky base like what I've been doing lately. So maybe I just need to not set that highlighter region. But that is a really, really pretty glow. Like it's very wet. It's very like lit from within. So the only thing I have left is a lip pencil. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my eyeshadow and stuff off camera, like my lower lash eyeshadow and whatnot, and just finish up the mascara. And I'll go ahead and apply this though. So this is the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in the shade 15 Lead the Way. And on the packaging, it says that there's a sharpener. So like, oh, here we go. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you can actually keep it sharp. Yeah, it's really pigmented. It's super creamy. And it's just like a mid-toned purpley mauve, so it's gonna be good for every day. But I've heard that these are super, super long wearing. Like, I've heard people say that this lasts through eating and drinking and everything. So I'm gonna use this as my lip liner and lipstick because it does have like a really fine point. Alrighty guys, so I'm back at the finished look, so it's time to do our little final conclusion roundup. So the Maybelline Eyeshadow palette, I'm actually really impressed with this. Like, the quality is definitely there. It's very pigmented, they're really easy to work with. I honestly have no complaints, but I feel like this has very been there, done that, and I've already got like 20 palettes in my collection that look just like this with like the same color story. So I feel like this is something that Maybelline should have done like 5 years ago. I would say if you're someone like me that has a pretty established palette collection, you probably don't need this. Like, it's not a necessity. Like, I know it's not gonna become a favorite for me. I am super impressed by the foundation, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a wear test of this video. I think I'm just going to post updates in the description box because I want to keep this video more short. Right now it's 2:50, so like I got done around 2:30 with my face makeup and stuff. So we'll say 2:30 for our check-in time. So again, no wear test, but I will leave updates in the description box. But this gives a beautiful finish, and like it just makes your skin look so radiant and healthy. Even though it's a lot buildable coverage, it really covered up everything I wanted it to in a very seamless skin-like way. So yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Setting Powder, I know this was kind of like a last minute throw-in product, but we're here, let's go ahead and talk about it. So I don't like this because it's not truly translucent, and I'm still kind of holding on to that first day that I wore it, how it made my skin look really cakey and powdery and just looked heavy. So I haven't had that experience since then, but I'm still holding on to that first initial impression of it. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, it feels really soft, it's really finely milled. So if you don't care to have a little bit of color, then it's fine, I guess. Personally, I want something that's truly translucent, and this isn't. The Rimmel Maxi Blush, I have too many blushes in my collection that outperform this, so this is just kind of subpar to me. The Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift, not bad. I mean, my eyes look pretty good. Like, it does give a really like doll-eyed, like wide effect. Like, it gives a really open effect. But I've got too many mascaras in my collection, even from Maybelline. Like, the Lash Sensational works 10 times better than this. I mean, you may try it and absolutely love it, but to me, I'm not wowed by it. The Revlon Skin Lights Highlighter. I want to keep playing with this. I've pretty much already said what I want to say about it, how I want to apply it to a tacky base like I normally do without a lot of powder and whatnot, but the color is beautiful. I feel like it's very complimentary. It's going to be very universal for a lot of skin tones. The Maybelline Eyeliner. I'm really, really digging this. I mean, I haven't tested it at all, so I don't know how it wears. It may transfer and smudge and smear and all that stuff. I don't feel like it will, but I mean, it could. Jet Black matte. I really like the control of the application, so loving this so far. The L'Oreal Micro Ink Brow Pen. I'm actually really digging this. Like, my brows don't look too red or too warm or anything now. Like, once I have foundation on, it kind of toned everything down. And last, the Superstay Ink Crown from Maybelline. I love this color. They don't have a large color selection, so that's kind of why I haven't really been super excited about testing it out, because if I like the formula, there's not any other shades I would really be interested in. The formula is really creamy, it's really pigmented, and I've had this on. I don't have gloss on or anything on, so I've had this on for about 20 minutes now, and so far it's not making my lips really dry or giving me like a cat butthole rim. And that is it for this drugstore makeup video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to post that in a couple of weeks, and make sure you check down there for wear updates. I'll let you guys know how it wore for the rest of the day. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next one.